Hello and welcome to another video, and I've got a few things to talk about in this video relating to the Amico, but first of all, an apology. I have to say, Intellivision, I'm sorry. I take back everything negative I ever said about the Amico. Look at this post from Tommy on the Atari Age forum. Silverbot said, "Auto racing is coming. I believe this is a very early picture of it." And Tommy says, "Yes, correct, this is a very early version." I mean, with graphics like that, wow. How, I'm tearing up. How are we ever gonna cope? You know, throw your PS5 out the window now. You don't need it. The Amico's coming. It'll be ace. Not at all. So, first thing I've got to talk about is the fact that Intellivision are pretty much out of money. This is, I'll put a link in the description below. This is a picture taken from Reddit. And I'll link the Reddit article in the, my voice is going again, in the video description below. But the title of the piece is Juicy Amico related tidbits in FIG's latest revenue report. FIG being a company that seems to be, I've sort of glanced through this, they seem to be funding a few different projects. The Amico seems to be the bulk of them. So the figures we go through here are going to be mainly down to the Amico basically. But from October the 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2021, FIG had a net loss of $6.2 million, and they're at a $6.2 million, and a $15.2 million deficit, and at risk of losing operations. So basically, I mean, there's a bit of stuff early on where they talk about figures around 0.4 million, 0.1 million. Yeah, I sort of glanced at those. It's not too much going on there. Obviously, not in terms of raising revenue. It's absolutely paltry. But we incurred a net loss of $6.2 million for the 6 months ending March 31st, 2021, compared to a net loss of $0.4 million for the same time 12 months earlier. The increase in net loss was due to the increase in general and administrative costs and game development costs from $459,972, so over almost $500,000. $33,000 of which were from ongoing game development. So the majority of that is from administrative costs. Jesus. During a period of dormancy in the company to $6.5 million, the company launched a larger FIG portfolio share in size, scope and preparation costs and time for the 6 months ending March 2021, which resulted in higher game development expenses and losses for the company. Losses. So they're not making any money at all. They're just losing it all. And obviously they tried to sell 50,000 games, well, 50,000 boxed editions, physical products, and they sold about a fifth of those. So that's brought them in about $200,000. That's not going to make a dent in any of this. And then a little bit further on, as of March 31st, 2021, we had an accumulated deficit of $15.2 million. This exposes us to the risk that our parent company may be unable to provide us with the financing necessary to continue operations. To mitigate this risk, we have begun reviewing strategic alternatives, including reducing new game campaigns, so we can forget about seeing any new gameplay, even though Tommy said that the other day in his video. We're going to get loads more gameplay in his videos. Reducing new game campaigns and other game publishing activities, and also reducing employee headcount. So all the employees they've got at the moment, they're on six-figure salaries, they put out nothing anyway. And they're reducing those, so they're going to put out even less. They're going to put out less than nothing. Brilliant. This is going well. So we've obviously got some good news, because the Amico's got a really good review from this Wii PC company. Intellivision Amico, a family console. We really want to succeed. We're hoping to see the new spiritual successor to the original Mattel console before the end of the year. But what can we expect? This was apparently reviewed by Paul McNally in October 27th, so it's a few days ago. But, Wii PC. Advertising solutions across the Wii PC network. So basically, they paid for a review. And to make it try and not look like it's a completely positive review, there's one or two bits they put in there that make it sound a little bit negative, just to try and balance things out. But anyway, I started my gaming company journey as a kid back in '80 with Intellivision, and the rest is history. Blah blah blah. Poor man's VCS. Just a bit of waffle at first with a picture of is that Cloudy Mountain? Yeah, it must be Cloudy Mountain. Yeah, because it says Cloudy Mountain. Blah 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 blah. But there's a bit of waffle. It's just waffle. Trying to give a bit of background stuff there. Fast forward to 2018 and the arrival of Tommy Tallarico. I'm trying to zoom this in to get bigger text. It's giving me bigger text, but not zooming it in sideways. That's good. Fast forward to 2018 and the arrival of Tommy Tallarico, an industry music veteran you can find credited on classics such as Earthworm Jim, and someone who's been in the industry as long as I have. Tommy is, well, he sucked on the silver shilling here. Tommy has since gone on to break all manner of records with his phenomenally popular video games live music spectacular, which has been performed all around the world, as well as being Steven Tyler of Aerosmith's famous cousin. Yeah, we know he's Steven Tyler's cousin, but I don't know, is that where Tommy gets his money from? So he can live like Willy Wonka with, life-size blow-up dolls of Leela from The Fifth Element and Lara Croft and God knows what else. Did he have a Cyberman in there as well? I don't know. I spoke to Tommy a year or so ago and discussed my delight at the new project so I can play family-orientated games with my kids that connected me to my own childhood. Since then, it's fair to say that the path for Tommy in Intellivision hasn't always been smooth, COVID, blah, blah, blah. So he's just trying to sort of make it a little bit sound like it's not a sort of a paid shill piece. Last week, Amico launched physical copies for the first games. They all come as a download, $10, etc. So it was just blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't go into any details about the fact that they haven't sold particularly well whatsoever. Then we have a bit of nostalgia here, blah, blah, blah. And there's a bit where it says, Intellivision realised, of course, there was a whole host of collectors, including me, who has a fondness for Intellivision games and their unique packaging. So they released games for a console that currently has no release date and therefore can't be downloaded and played on anything. Some corners of the gaming press chose to jump on this and use it as a way of poking fun, but to me, this is unfair, as Intellivision isn't exactly selling these off the shelf. Well, they are. They're selling them. They're selling them. No one else. I don't know what he's going on about there. So again, we've got lots more guff here. Of course, times have changed a fair bit. The shouts of, we already have a Nintendo Switch, are false to me. Yes, we do, but a Switch game can cost around $50. And to truly play multiplayer, you're talking about multiple consoles or controllers. What a load of horse shit. I mean, yeah, there will be some games that cost $50, but you're talking about AAA games. I mean, I've been playing a game called Effie, which is, not bad. Well, it's alright, an okayish platformer game. I've got some gameplay up, go take a look at it. But that costs, you buy the physical version, £25, sorry, in the UK. So I suppose that's about $30 in the US. So, that's not $50. There's a lot of games that aren't $50. But this makes it sound like, if you want to go for the alternative to the Amico, which is the Switch, which it is, then you've got to buy all these games at $50 a piece. It's like that actress woman in the Amico video that said, if I buy games at $10 each, I can buy 6 games, so that's $60, which is the price of one game on the Switch. Well, one AAA game, It's just false information. And you don't buy multiple consoles, I think the whole point of a Switch is that at least you've got 2 Joy-Cons, so at the very least, you can play it on you can play at least 2 players on the Switch. I suppose if you did have multiple Switches, then you can play even more players. But it's a falsehood to say that you need multiple Switches to play any multiplayer games on the Switch. But then this is a paid shill piece. The Amico, you get 2 controllers, but other players can join in just by downloading the app and using their smartphone as a controller. Anybody can join in at a moment's notice, even grandparents. Games are all cheap and pretty much instant to download. They're also exclusive to the Amico. Well, exclusive to a point of there are slight differences in some cases. You know, they're not exclusive. We're not talking like, before a recent announcement. We're not talking God of War on the PlayStation, for example, or I don't know, Forza Horizon or Halo Infinite on the Xbox. He says there's no Call of Duty here, no Fortnite. Well, exactly. So that's going to turn people off straight away. The kids want to play Fortnite. Kids want to play Call of Duty. So they won't be going for the Amico. The games are multiplayer, family orientated and simple. Yeah, it still look like a lot of fun, including remakes of classics from yesteryear. You can still find me playing with my kids. Twitter tantrums. So this is a bit where they try to sort of dumb down the article a bit to make it look like it's not a paid shill piece. Because it just, you'll see. There's also been a further furore. Now to me, furore is spelled F-U-R-O-R-E. Is that how you spell it in America? I don't know. As Tommy lost his temper on Twitter. Never a good thing. In relation to a story that apparently used leaked documents to highlight the Amico. No, they didn't use leaked documents at all. They were there in the flesh, online. Not in the flesh, but you know what I mean. But it certainly wasn't leaked. So it's just falsehood again, misinformation. Using leaked documents to highlight that the Amico would be a $100 processor that was similar to what was found in a smartphone in 2016. This again taking something so far away from context for a headline which seems almost vindictive. But no, it was the truth. It was the exact truth. The Oculus Quest 2 uses a similar processor, etc., etc. I mean, I've got what have I got? I've got an Oculus DK2 Development Kit 2, which I've not used in a long time, and also a PlayStation PSVR unit, which again I've not used in a long time. I would like a PSVR 2. When are we getting that? That'll just, it'll just be a lot easier. Because the trouble with the PSVR is that you don't. A lot of games tend to use hand controls, and I've not got the hand controls for that. The move controls, God, I wish I'd bought them on a market when they were about £1 each, many years ago when no one was using them. And then, but now if you tried to get them, you'd be spending about 80 quid or 70 quid. It's just ridiculous. Why don't PlayStation just put out, they make a fortune anyway with controllers. Why don't they just put out move controllers for PSVR? It'd be so simple. They can make their own controllers, proper controllers, again, and stop people having to fork out tons and tons of money. Anyway, so I can't commentate. I can't comment on what the Oculus Quest 2 is. There's so many different types of these that have come out since. I lose track of them all. Is Quest the one that you don't have to have wires, I think? So I think those aren't supposed to be as good anyway. The Amico is set to cost $249, so pointing out that a processor only costs $100 is as if to suggest the console is overpriced seems odd. So we're back on track in terms of shilling. If you add up all the components in a $1,000 TV, do they come to a nice round $1,000? Maybe they do, but I highly doubt it. So just pure whataboutery. A completely superfluous statement there. I don't know. I've never looked at the components within the TV. I wouldn't understand them anyway. But you just, what a load of crap that is. Maybe it's easy to say how can the Amico hope to succeed in the face of such competition, but it's also a bit lazy perhaps. Maybe we should hope it succeeds so we can get back some much needed family time with everybody in the household. Well, that's what the Switch is for, surely. For balance, I undoubtedly have my rose-tinted glasses on. Many people have pre-ordered the Amico and still have no timelines when it will arrive. Now people have bought physical copies of games, etc., etc., etc. So it talks about collector's items. Are we actually going to see a console that gets kids playing with their families, or a console where parents force their kids to play because they're chasing memories? Well, you can do all of that on the Switch, on the Switch anyway. The nostalgia I still have for the original Intellivision will doubtless come back to haunt me when the Amico finally arrives. What an odd thing to say. Just like when you play Sonic on a copy of RetroArch for the first time in years. So he's advocating piracy there, naughty boy. I imagine I will want for more, but the chance to get my kids off the likes of Roblox on their iPads and actually interacting with their parents again is a risk I'm willing to take. Well, excuse me, Windy Pops. Sounds like you got bad parenting there, fella. So, and I've got bad Windy Pops. So, bad parenting if you can't get the kids off their stupid iPads. Do like Kirsty Allsop The MILF who was on location on I say MILF, she's about the same age as me. On the was it? Yeah, Channel 4. And she works with Phil Spencer, not the Xbox Phil Spencer, but another Phil Spencer, who's a man who takes great delight in shooting deer and being quite brazen about it. What a shame. He used to think he was okay. It's a bit like Nick, what's it, the CFO or Koo, whatever he is, from Intellivision, who likes to shoot prairie dogs. What's wrong with these people? Anyway, sorry, getting back to the point. Kirsty Allsop, she said on the Jeremy Vine show on Channel 5 that she took the iPads off the kids, and that's actually physically, because she couldn't get them off the iPads, she physically smashed them to pieces. And she demonstrated doing so, obviously not in reality, but she just sort of demonstrated the motion. You know, if she was going to get rid of iPads, she could have just given them away to somewhere. You know, just give them to the neighbours, let them play with them. Stupid woman. Anyway, but it says the Intellivision Amico is due to release before the end of 2021. Well, that'll make Turbo Joe happy, you know. He says it's guaranteed to come out by the end of this year. It certainly bloody isn't. There can't be anyone thinking this thing is coming out this year, if ever. Farce. Anyways. So the last part of this video is talking about a guy called Jenovi, who's made this video, Intellivision Amico, Deceptive and Scummy Marketing Tactics. Well, that's about the only thing I agree with him about. But I watched this video, it's 13 minutes. I mean, I'll link it in the description, but it was... I'll play bits of it, so I'm not going through the whole thing. He just doesn't seem to know what he's talking about. At all. I mean, there's some nice production techniques on it, I'll give him that, but he's just sort of... I'll just use the first 10 seconds, say.
This is the Amico, a new video game system marketing itself as a cross between a family party console, retro-inspired game center, and child's educational tool.
So he's sort of talking as if he's like the technology connections guy. But that guy seems to know an awful lot. But this guy, I mean, he spends at least the first 2 minutes just pure waffle about not very much whatsoever. So the next bit comes at 4:13. I'll talk about. I'll play it first, and I'll just talk about it after.
Now, I'll be honest. I don't follow these things really close, and especially with something like the Amico, where there's so much drama, I try to distance myself so I can have my final opinion and judgment unaffected should I decide to cover on this channel. So when the Founders Edition launched in January of 2020, I put my order in and have essentially avoided most things Amico until I received an email on October 10th advertising their collector's box sets.
So he's admitted he pre-ordered the system, but hasn't been following the progress. As such, he's got 13 minutes of largely inconsequential waffle, plus a load of assumptions and inaccuracies. Who puts money down on something and then just goes and ignores what's going on? I mean, in fact, the whole thing just looks like someone who's put together a video that they have no idea what they're talking about, whilst trying to make them sound like the font of all knowledge. And there's other bits which just sound like a summary of things that have gone past, which, if you've been watching videos from myself and other people, you'll have heard about all this already anyway, you know. Now, he's already shown a video on his channel, which is about 2 minutes long, which just talks about he unboxes the games, and one thing that's come about on here and on other channels as well is that the boxes don't close properly. So you open them up, but there's no way to actually close them back again. And I'm not sure whether he says it or someone else says it, but they should have put some sort of clasp on it so that when you fold it back over to close it, there's a way to sort of keep it in place. Or I think he talks about a slipcase that you get on Blu-rays and DVDs that, you know, look really nice outside the box. So those would be good. But one thing he also says on this is that these boxes contain download codes. They don't. They don't contain download codes at all. Obviously, it's supposed to be an RFID chip thing that you tap on the Amico and that triggers a download. What he's talking about is this You can actually see it on this bit that I've frozen here. This is the Amico card 4.
Inside, you get a fancy playing card, coin, and a plastic card that...
Yes, that's Rigid Force Redux Enhanced. And that gives us a code of 507970334940049 40049542994. Apparently that's a download code. I doubt it very much. If you got your Amico now, go and type it in and see if it works. I mean, I remember John Riggs showed this on his video. You know, it's not. I mean, he says this guy Jenovi says download code several times in the video. I think it could be a serial number, or at best it's like some sort of authenticator, like two-factor authentication when you're activating the card. Then again, Tommy said you can just tap the box on the console without actually opening the box, so it won't even need that for that. But then again, it may well just be a piece of plastic because, instead of an RFID chip, because none of this is going to work anyway. I remember John Riggs actually hid the part of the number on his video because he didn't want anyone downloading his precious Amico game. Because technically, if this did work the way Tommy said it was going to, and it won't, then even if Jenovi gets his Amico, and if it does work the way he says, if Jenovi gets his Amico and then he taps his card on it and downloads Rigid Force Redux Enhanced, he'll play the game, and then you can just go in and play the game anyway because he's shown you the code. But it's not going to work anyway, so it's all completely and utterly academic. There's also something he said earlier on in the video about how there's like 3 groups of people talking about the Amico. There's the haters, the complete haters, and that then there's the complete fanboys who go over the top. Not sure if he used that term, but that's the kind of people he was talking about. And the third one are just sort of basic gamers. I mean, personally, I don't fit into any of those categories. I mean, I was looking forward to it originally, but after everything that's gone on, which I've detailed in my videos, along with what's actually in the box, I realised it's just turned into a scam and everyone should just get their money out. If you pre-order this thing, I urge you, get a refund. Get a bloody refund. If you got $10,000 or whatever, more or less, whatever, invested in this thing, Smash AT, DJC, please get your money out. Just get your money out. Just get your money out. It's just ridiculous. You're not going to get anything out of this. You're really not. Anyway, I did try pointing out in the comments on this video. I won't bother showing them. And oh look, oh dear, I put a dislike in there. How did that get in there? Huh? Nah, fuck it. He deserves it. By the way, if you put a dislike on a video, same as with commenting, it doesn't actually harm it. All it does is give him. It just boosts it in the algorithm. So I've sort of had the opposite effect. So yeah, if someone ever downvotes on one of your videos, all they're doing is actually boosting it in the algorithm because YouTube then think, hey, this video is getting a lot of engagement. Whether it's likes or dislikes, it counts as engagement, and so they push the video out to more people. So when you get all the trolls downvoting videos because they think it really hurts it, they're actually doing the complete opposite. But then the trolls are complete morons. And talking to morons, yeah, the people, I commented that there's no download codes in this, and I got a nasty reply from Jenovi, who just said, oh, Dammy does this and Dammy does that, and just these, then the replies from other people who were just cucks for Jenovi basically, and it was just like, it's like, imagine going into a pub in the UK and you don't like football. I don't like football. And you're going in and they're all there watching the World Cup match, and it's the final set of penalties. England are in the final, whatever, and they're taking penalties. And I mean, this happened actually this summer anyway. Taking penalties and will we win? Will we win? Etc. etc. And I imagine if I go in there and being the lone voice that says, "Oh, can we just give me the remote control? I want to watch Casualty on the other side or whatever," and I turn it over. I then am my name is Mud, literally, and I'm then basically kicked in the mud by all the morons who just. Well, no, in those cases, not morons. Yeah, I've just really pissed them off. Okay, in those cases, not morons. They're just fans I've pissed them off. The morons are the people in the comment section on this video. I'm not going to bother showing it here because it just goes on and on, to a degree, and that Jenovi is an absolute arsehole. And the people are just everything he says is correct. You know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. So. You can't fix stupid, and that's why you have the likes of Insulate Britain going and gluing their face to the road in the UK at the moment. You can't fix stupid whatsoever. Anyways, I'll leave it there for now, and sure there'll be more stuff coming up about the Amico in due course. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell for all the notifications. That's better. And cue Genesis.